उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमानः यः परस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरी कबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्पर तपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्परौ प्रपञ्च मातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः. We were looking at Tulyayogita. We finished two varieties. So the first variety of Tulyayogita is Prakrita Tulyayogita. The second one is Aprakrita Tulyayogita. We saw two examples for each of those. So in the Prakrita Tulyayogita, what we are doing is we're looking at only Prakrita Vastu. Adnalda, I have highlighted it in violet so that you understand that only these are connected by the dharma here. So here too, only these are connected by the dharma, whereas this is not there for us in the dharma. So the prakritam would not be connected if it is the aprakrita Tulyayogita. You will have to take a bunch of objects which are all aprakritam and connect it with the common dharma. The prakrita dharmam here is actually naikayaha angasya mardavam eva atra prakrita dharmaha. Kintu, there is only one object here. So there is no Tulyayogita. Tulyam always should be between two or more objects. In the first variety, we saw both are prakritam because Chandrodayaha tu tatra prakrita varnanam vartate. Chandrodaye sati Sarojani sankuchanti, Swairini vadanani cha sankuchanti. Both the faces of the women also fade. The lotuses also close their faces. So this is prakritam. If you take the aprakritam example, Twadanga Mardave, inge Twadanga Mardave Drishte, when I have seen the softness of your body, I find the hardness in all of these things. I think that these are all much harder than the softness of your body. So, and the softness is not a dharma that is common to Prakritam and Aprakritam. Softness is only present in Prakritam, which is the Naikayaha Angam. Whereas these three, the aprakrita objects or the upamana objects, I want to try to compare to these three objects, but I find that all three share a common dharma, which is kathorata. In this samana aspect, you can either have a kriya, which is a connector, or you can have a dharma, which is a connector. So these two are one type of Tulyayogita. And the rendu type, but still it goes on the same principle. Adikaga. Now that we have to go to the third variety. The third line ardana hita hite vritti taulyam apara Tulyayogita. Apara Tulyayogita, the third kind of Tulyayogita is where there is a vritti taulyam. Taulyam tulyasya bhavaha taulyam. There is a sameness with respect to vyavahara. Vritti here is vyavahara or actions. Actions with respect to a hita person or an ahita person. Whether it is a hitam or ahitam, ahita, hita, ahita, vritti, taulyam. When we look at the example in the definite lakshana vivaranam, we will understand. So, pradiyate parabhutihi mitra shatravayoho tvaya. Kaschana ragnya, kasyachana ragnyaha atra vivaranam vartate, varnana vartate, tvaya pradiyate. By you is being given. What is being given by you? Karmani prayogathila irukku. So mitra shatravayoho parabhutihi pradiyate tvaya ragnya, you who are akin by you, mitra shatravayoho, to your friend and to your enemy, parabhutihi diyate. There is just one thing that is being given. Parabhuti Danam is the action that the king does. He does it to both his friend and his Shatru. What is this Parabhuti? Now here is a Slesha here. It can either be, so Parabhuti should be common to both the Mitram and the Shatru. Mitram tu atra hitam. Ahitam tu atra Shatruhu. So in both cases, Shatravaha, Shatruhu, both are same here. In both cases, you are giving Parabhuti. The meaning here is Parabhutihi, Parabhutihi. இது வந்து தனித்தனி வேர்டா எடுத்துக்கலாம். So when you take it as two separate words, then you take it as para utkrishta bhutihi aishwaryam. Utkrishta bhutihi diyate mitraya. mitrasya. Pradiyate irkartnala, he doesn't, and it's also in karmani prayoga. Now, parabhutihi also means parabhavaha. So, shatravasya parabhavaha pradiyate. He also gives a form of an insult or a humiliation. It can also be overthrowing. Parabhutihi abhibhavaha, or defeat. So he provides defeat to his enemy and provides great wealth to his friends. Hite ahite cha vritti taulyam. It is only in words, not in artham. Okay, look at the Vachaka Shabda here. The Vachaka Shabda is arranged in such a manner that the king does the same action to both his friend and his enemy. Hita ahite mitra amitra vishaye. Vrittehe vyaparasya hitam cha ahitam cha hitahitam. Hitahite hita ahita vishaye. So hita ahita vishaye, mitra amitra vishaye, vrittehe vyaparasya taulyam samyam ekavidha vyavaharanam, acting in a same manner. Apara anya tritiya Tulyayogita. So this is the third variety of Tulyayogita. He Rajan, tvaya mitra shatravayoho vishaye. These two, this is in Saptami Vibhakti. Okay. Mitra shatravayoho vishaye, or you can take here mitra shatravayoho as in Shashti Vibhakti along with vishaye. Correct. Abdi irukadum. And he has given this in bracket saying mitrebhyaha shatrubhyaha cha, fourth case vardu. Correct. Parabhutihi, para utkrishta bhutihi aishwaryam. Parabhavaha cha pradiyate. Doesn't explain what is parabhava. Parabhava is more like apajayaha or abhibhavaha. Parajayaha. Pradiyate iti udaharanam. Atra hite mitre. Ahite shatrau cha. Parabhutidana rupa samana vyapara varnanat. There is the description of a same vyapara, same kriya, samana kriya tatra. Ka kriya vartate? Parabhutidana rupa kriya. Parabhuti cha mitre api kriyate, shatrau api kriyate. Utkrishta bhutidanasya parabhava danasya cha sleshena abheda adhyavasanat tulyatvam. So this, there is an abheda adhyavasana. Abheda adhyavasanam garda. We've seen this in number Vibudhaha. Adu untida nek nyabam irukku. Yadavabhyudayam. We saw that in Yadavabhyudaya, where the same word can mean two different things, and you're actually doing a superimposition of one meaning over the other meaning. Seriya?
That when we are saying Tulyayogita in the Hita Ahita, even though we are using the Parabhuti, because it is not exactly, even though it says Eka Kriya, Eka Vidha Vyaparaha, but it is actually the Vyaparam becomes different because of the Shlesha.
Yes. Yes. Vyapara is Artharitya Bhinnaha Yadyapi, Shabdaritya tu Tatra Samana Rupa Varnana eva kriyate.
Okay. So everywhere I think that should come into picture, because you can't use the same kind of thing for both Mitram and Shatru. Shlesham has to come into picture, I think. In this kind of...
in some way or the other, it has to. Illana, it will be difficult, no?
Correct.
Ama, to explain. Varadu illana. Ama.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking.
Yeah, because it is two different people and two opposite. Viruddha jananam krite tatra vyaparaha kriyate chete. It should be based on Shlesha only.
Shlesha.
You can't find another example where there is no Shlesha. It's tough. Yescha, this is a different. Now here, it is a stuti rupam. He is praising the king in such a manner that he says, you are behaving this samachittatvam asti tvayi iti. You are looking at both your friends and your enemies in the same manner. You are dealing with them in the same manner. So it is a stuti param. Whereas the aparam udaharanam is a ninda rupam. Yescha nimbam parashuna, yescha enam madhu sarpisha, Yascha enam gandhamalyadhyaihi sarvasya katureva saha. You'll have to, there is no kriyapadam here. You'll have to adhyaropaha kartavyaha, adhyaharyaha. Yaha nimbam parashuna vrischati na cutting. One who cuts down a tree. Nimba here is a neem tree. One who cuts down a neem tree with a parashu, with an axe, yascha enam nimbam madhu sarpisha sinchati. One who also sprinkles that tree, the neem tree, with madhu, honey, or even ghee. And if there is another person who comes and does puja to this nimba tree, puja to this neem tree with gandham alyadhyaihi, with chandanam and flowers, who no matter who it is, sarvasya saha nimba vrikshaha katuhu eva, it will only be bitter to that person, no matter what. So swabhavaha eva atra drashtavyaha iti. Tasya swabhavastu katuhu eva. So no matter how the other, if one comes and kills it, even then it is going to be the same. It's not going to change its swabhava because of that. If someone comes and sprinkles it with honey in the hope that the leaves will be, sweet, no, it's not going to be like that. Or if you do puja and say, Daiva Vashata Atra, we want honey in the neem flowers, nothing is going to happen like that. Right? So Sarvasya Katuhu Eva.
So this one shows the example where you don't need the Shlesha.
We don't need Shlesha. Correct. So Atra Vrischati Sinchati Archati iti kriyapadani adhyaharyani. You have to take in those kriyapadas. Parashuna chedat ahite. Parashuna chedat, because someone is cutting with an axe, he becomes an ahita purushaha. So ahite api katuhu eva vartate. Next one, madhu sarpisha gandha malyadibihi cha pujanat. Madhuparkam dadati iti. Even if he gives madhuparkam or something like that, still there is not going to be any change in his vyavaharam, in the nimba vrikshas vyavaharam. So gandha malyadibihi cha pujanat, even if you worship it with the chandanam, pushpam, madhu, sarpihi, anything, hite, someone who does archana is actually a hita person, right, who is very beneficial to us. Ubhayatrapi nimbaha katuhu eva, it is only bitter in both cases. Hite ahite cha tulya vyaparaha. Samana vyapara varnanat Tulyayogita lakshana sangatihi. Purva udaharanam rajnyaha stuti paryavasai. In the earlier example, it ended. Paryavasai tatra, you end it. Tatparyam ityartaha. Stutihi eva tatra tatparyam. Idam tu nimbasya ninda tatparyam. Nindayaha tatparyam vartate. Atra. So you are actually saying that no matter what anybody does, it is not going to affect any change in this neem tree. You don't need to do anything to it. So this is the third variety of Tulyayogita. We'll move on to the fourth variety. Guna utkrishtaih samikritya vacho anya Tulyayogita lokapalaha yamahpashi shridas shakro bhavan api. In the beginning itself, it is a disclaimer for this Tulyayogita, this variety of Tulyayogita. It will confuse us with Dipakam, because many people do not accept this alankara. This alankara is taken as Dipaka alankara in other cases. We will have to understand this. One second. We will have to understand this as the fourth variety of Tulyayogita in the manner in which it is described. Do not get confused with Dipakam, because it is very easy to get confused. Even if you are confused, I accept it will be like that. First class I can't remember these two Tulyayogitas. I only remember the Prakrita and Aprakrita, maybe Hita Ahitam. This one is completely off the charts, because I always feel this is Dipaka Alankara. But we will try to understand what Appayya Dikshita wants to tell us. Guna utkrishtaih samikritya vachaha. Anya Tulyayogita. This is the fourth variety, Anya Tulyayogita, where Vachaha, there is a Varnanam, Vachaha or Vakyam, where you are trying to Utkrishta, Guna Utkrishtaihi, using Sreshta Gunas, you are actually talking of two, okay, let's take two categories of people. One category has a lot of people who have great qualities in them. There is another person whom you want to compare with these people, or say that his vyavahara is also the same, these people are also the same. Iti vaktavyam tatra. What do? You're actually leveling their gunas and describing. Even though these people are a cadre higher, you are still leveling those two and saying all of them are equal from this particular perspective. அந்த மாதிரி அவ்வளவு தூரம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கிடையாது. You don't have from the particular perspective and all will not be explained in the shloka at all. Look at the example. Lokapalaha. Who are all the Lokapalas? There are Ashta Lokapalakas. So Yama, god of death. So Pashi is Yasya Haste Pashaha Vartate Varunaha. Shridaha, Shriyam Dadati iti Kuberaha. Shakraha Indraha. Now these four are known as Lokapalas. Bhavanapi, a Kavi is describing or he is praising the king in front of him, and he is saying Lokapalaha Yamaha, Lokapalaha Pashi, Lokapalaha Shridaha, Lokapalaha Shakraha, Lokapalaha Bhavanapi. So he's actually leveling the playing field between the original Lokapalas, who are actually Trilokapalaha. Trayanam lokanam palaha te palakaha, kintu atra bhavan lokapalaha na, it is only an epithet you give for a king who rules his subjects. The subjects are also called lokaha. That's all you're saying. Is it clear? But there are qualities that he has which with which you are actually connecting these people. So guna utkrishtaih shauryadi gunaih sreshtaih samikritya samanam kritva samyam vivakshitva, wanting to talk about an equality between two sets of people or one and many set of people. It is very, very similar to one person who is in the bahuda ullekhat irukilla, ekena bahuda ullekaha. ஆனா அங்க எப்படின்னா one person has to see. இங்க அகம் மன்யே அகம் பஷ்யாமி அந்த ஆஸ்பெக்ட் இல்லாததுனால, that aspect is not here, so this is not ullekha. That is the difference between ullekha and this fourth one. Okay, now lokapalaha samikritya shreshthaihi gunaihi samikritya. Now who has these big qualities? Yama has great qualities. Pasha, Varuna also has good qualities. Shrida, Kubera also is able to give a lot of money. Indra has the capability of ruling people. So Yama has the capability of ruling with justice. So because of those qualities, you are trying to level these two people. That's what is happening in this alankara. So Sreshtaihi Gunaihi, Guna Utkrishtatvam tu राज्ञी अपि वर्तते, एतेषु अपि वर्तते. Clear? I'll explain more. Utkrishta gunaihi dharmatah samanikritya varnanam. Anya Tulyayogita. Yamaha, Pashi, Varunaha, Shridaha, Kuberaha, Shakraha, Indraha, Bhavanapi, Lokapalaha. Ityatra, Varnaniyaha, Raja. The person whom we want to describe is actually Prakritaha, Raja. Utkrishta Gunaihi, because of great qualities, or the ones who have great qualities. Utkrishta Guna is not only the quality here. Utkrishtaha Gunaha Yeshamte Taihi. So Utkrishta Gunaihi Yamadibihi. Lokapalatvarupa dharmataha samani kritya. Even though there are qualities, these qualities are also present in the king, but we are only leveling the ground with respect to lokapalatvam. That is the samana dharma with which we are actually saying these two people are the same. Okay, samani kritya varnitaha iti lakshana samanvayaha. Sariyarka?
In this itself, if you just put the anyaha or some one word like that, will it become Bedaka Atishayoktihi?
यमः पाशी श्रीदः शक्रः च लोकपालाः भवान् तेभ्यः अन्यो लोकपालः, something like that it should be.
If we put that word anyaha, it can become like a
yes.
Bedaka
Yes.
Adish.
अस्याः अपरम् उदाहरणम्.
In Ullekha, we had that, right? He is like but the king is like is Brihaspati in speech, and
each one there are different qualities.
Different. Here it is the same thing, right?
Same.
That is,
there is no mention of the Samana Dharma at all.
No, Samana Dharma is Lokapalatvam.
Oh.
Common Samana Dharma.
There is only one Dharma. Yama might have different other qualities. Pashi, Shridaha, Shakraha, all of these things, they may have other, they're actually the best in their work, no? That's why they have been appointed as the Lokapala for the entire world. This Raja also has the capabilities of ruling his world. So he is also a Lokapala.
Okay.
अस्याः अन्यदुदाहरणं संगतानि मृगाक्षीणां तडित् विलसितानि च क्षणद्वयं न तिष्ठन्ति घनारब्धान्यपि स्वयं. So okay, but I forgot to mention that this could be Dipakam, right? Because we are Dipakam is Prakritam and Aprakritam share a common dharma. The Prakritam here would be Bhavan, Raja. Aprakritas would be Yama, etc. Then these two are being connected by one common dharma, which is Lokapalatvam. That is why people say this as a variety, as Dipakam and not as a Tulyayogita. The
and also there was no Eva was not that kind of
Eva
also is not there.
No, that we don't need because it is not Upama. That's fine. Okay. But here the difference is there is a minute difference between Tulyayogita and Dipakam. The very fact that the very difference between the two is in Tulyayogita it is only either Prakritams are connected or Aprakritams are connected. Whereas in Dipaka you connect Prakritam and Aprakritam, like the Deepam in the middle which connects both the street and the house.
Little bit of both.
But here there is a confusion like that, no? That's why. Okay. Anyway, so Sangatani Mrigakshinam Tadit Vilasitani cha Kshanadvayam Natishtanti Ghana Arabdhani Api Swayam. So Ghana Arabdhani Api Mrigakshinam Sangatani Tadit Vilasitani cha Kshanadvayam Natishtanti. He is comparing okay. Ghana Arabdhani api Mrigakshinam Sangatani. The Sangatam or the acquaintances of women. Mrigakshi, Mrigasya Akshini Iva Akshini Yasyahasa Yasam Taha. So Mrigakshinam iti Lalanana, women, right? The Sangatani of women, the acquaintances of women, Kshanadvayam Natishtanti, they do not stay for 2 seconds, more than 2 seconds. Ghana Arabdhani api, Swayam Ghana Arabdhani api. Even though the women start that acquaintance on their own with a great force, Ghana here is like Dridha Arabdhani api, even though Arambhe Yadyapi Dridani Sangatani Vartante, Tadit Vilasatani cha Vartante, Tadit Ityukte Tatra Prakasha Rupam Bhavati. So the first acquaintance, first 2-3 dates on the Madri, the first 3 acquaintances which have been started by the woman herself, and still it is very bright also, and it's also Gadham there. There is a strong connection between them, but still it does not last beyond 2 seconds. It's similar to how Ghana Arabdhani Sangatani, the Tadit Vilasitani, Tadit Vilasitam is like a lightning. The lightning, even though it has been started by the Megham, when 2 Sangatani Ghana Arabdani. When two clouds connect together and there is a bright lightning in the middle, it does not stay for more than 2 seconds. Now, atra strinam samagamaha vidyutam vilasitani cha kshanadvayam na tishtanti. The acquaintances of women and the lightning, vilasitam, the brightness of the lightning, kshanadvayam na tishtanti, they do not stay for more than 2 seconds. Iti kshanadvaya anavasthana rupa dharmataha. This is the common dharma between mrigakshi sangatam and tadit vilasitam. The lightning and the women's acquaintance. These two are being connected by one dharma. And what is that one dharma? That both of them do not last more than 2 seconds. Some really frustrated person, Kavi, has written this.
If you misbehave, that's when it will happen.
Catch. Mrigakshi sangatanam tadit vilasitaihi samikritya. You are leveling the field between these two here. Pratipadanat Tulyayogita lakshana sangatihi. Purva udaharanam stuti paryavasayi, idam tu ninda paryavasayi. Is that clear? இப்பதான் அடுத்தது படிக்கிறதே தான் கன்ஃபியூஷனே வரும். The next one is Dipakam.
Here, which is superior? The Tadit is superior.
Always Upamanam is superior.
Okay, okay.
So Tadit Vilasitam is superior. Okay.
Unless it's a Pratipa alankara.
Yes.
And Ganarabdani, is it like Shlesha? Are there?
Yes. Ghanam is Megha Arabdhani Tadit Vilasitani. Athava Ghana Dridhataya Arabdhani Sangatani. Okay.
Okay.
Check. Next one is Dipaka alankara. Vadanti varnya avarnyanam dharmaikyam Dipakam budhaha. Budhaha Dipakam evam vadanti. They say that Dipaka is of this format, which is varnya avarnyanam dharma aikyam. There is a varnyam, that which we want to describe, which is the prastutam. Avarnyam, which is the non-contextual, aprastutam, that which is not our subject matter of description. You are connecting both of them with a common dharma. The example is Madena Bhati Kalabaha, Pratapena Mahipatihi. Kalabhaha, a small Kari Kalabhaha. So Gaja Kalabhaha, the small elephant, a young elephant, Madena Bhati, it shines with the Mada Jalam, the waters that flow from the sides of the temples, which shows that it is in youth. So a young elephant shines because of its Mada Jalam. Mahipatihi Pratapena Bhati. Again, this Bhana Kriya connects both these two. Pratapena Bhati. He shines with his valor. Okay. Now, we look at the explanation. Varnya avarnyanam prastuta aprastutanam dharma aikyam. So, varnya avarnyanam. Varnyam is prastutam. Avarnya is aprastuta. Varnya avarnyanam is equal to prastuta aprastutanam. Dharma aikyam. Eka dharma anvayaha. You connect it with just one dharma. Eka dharmini eva anvayaha tatra vartate. So, Dipakam iti buddhaha vadanti. Atrapi varnya avarnyanam iti bahuvachanam anekatva abhiprayena. There can be ekam or anekam. There can be many varnyas with one avarnya, many avarnyas with one varnya. Eppadi venalum irukkalam. So, it can also be one varnyam with one avarnyam. That is also possible. Okay. So, anekatva abhiprayena, it is not just one, it can be one or more. Varnya avarnya anvito, varnya avarnya anvita ekadharmaha Dipakam iti lakshanam. He suddenly gives one single word for this. Ekadharmaha Dipakam. There is only one dharma in Dipakam which connects anvita, which connects with the varnya and avarnya. Tulyayogitayam, now the difference is given here. Tulyayogitayam varnyanameva ekadharma anvayaha athava avarnyanameva ekadharma anvayaha. Dipake tu varnya avarnyanam iti bhedaha. Inga and the Dehali
difference
Deepanyayam
is there we had guna or kriya.
Ingi urke bhati iti kriya eva atra. There can be gunam also here.
Oh.
Irkalam. Kalabhaha, Karikalabhaha, Madena Bhati Shobhate, Mahipatihi, Pratapena, Shauryena, Bhati Shobhate. These are just meanings. This is giving an is equal to Podathika Badala or Abde Utta. So the king shines because of his valor. Atra Varnyasya Rajnyaha, Avarnyasya Kalabhasya cha. Bhana Rupa Eka Kriya Anvayaha Varnitaha. There is only one Kriya which is Bhati, Shobhate. That is your Kriya which connects both the king who is our Prakritam, because the king of the Kavi wants to describe the king. And the Avarnyam here is, he is comparing it to an elephant, but he is not directly saying Raja Gajakalabhaha Iva iti tatra nasti. There is no comparison at all here. Okay, because there are two different dharmas which is present. There is Pratapa in this person, there is Mada here, but both are connected with just one Kriya, which is Bhanam. Sadrishyam atra gamyam. The aupamyam is actually just as how the king shines with his valor. In the same way, or just as how the elephant shines with its madajalam, with its yavvanam. In the same way, the king also shines with his valor. This sort of an aupamyam, sadrishyam, is gamyam. That is, it is to be understood. It is not in the vachyartha. Yeah. प्रस्तुत उपयोगितया प्रयुक्तः धर्मः अत्र भानरूपः अप्रस्तुत उपयोगी अपि भवति. So the word dharma bhanam iti dharmaha uchyate atra bhati iti kriyapadena kaha dharmaha upayuktaha bhanam bhanarupaha dharmaha upayuktaha. Tarhi sa bhanarupa dharmaha prathamam we want to only describe the varnyam here. Prastuta upayogitaya. Why would I want to menakatti arada aprastutatai describe pannuvala? Someone will not take so much of effort to describe the elephant, which is not even my subject of matter. No, the subject matter is only the king. So, prastuta upayogi atra kaschana dharmaha upayujyate. Kaha sa dharmaha bhanarupaha dharmaha. Aprastutasyapi upayogitaya vartate. It is also useful for describing the aprastutam. Just as how why it is called Dipakam, why is this alankara called Dipakam? He gives a very beautiful example. He says, this is why it is also called Dipakam. Yatha griha prakashanartham pradipitaha deepaha. In order to light the house, you light a lamp and keep it at the doorstep so that there is light inside the house. But Rathyam api prakashayati, it also lights up the road for people who keep going back and forth. So Deepa Sadrishyat Deepakam. We want the Bhanarupaha Dharmaha tu atra prastutasya upayogarthameva kritaha, uktaha, kintu saha dharmaha aprastutamapi prakashayati. So that's why this alankara is called Deepakam. Okay. Deepa iva Deepakam iti ivarte kan pratyaha. Okay, fine. Iti anvarthanama. Anvartha samgya itukte, the name connects. Adavadu perum purundi irukku. Okay.
We had ivarte cha pratyaha, now ivarte kan pratyaha.
Dipakasya aparam udaharanam. This is from Niti Shatakam. Manishano leadhas samara vijayi heti dalitaha madakshino nagaha sharadi saridashyana pulina kala sheshas chandras surata mrutita balavanita tanimna shobhante galita vibhavascha arthishu janaha nripaha. Arthishu galita vibhavaha nripaha tanimna api shobhante. Kings who have who have wealth, vibhavaha, artishu galita vibhavaha. They have given their wealth to the people who want. Arthi ityukte yachakaha. So yachakeshu aishwarya vitaranam kritavantaha nripaha tanimna shobhante. So they have less wealth now because they have given their wealth in charity to the people who have come to ask for alms. So they have given all of their wealth to an arthi, or in the vishayam of an arthi, or with respect to yachaka, their wealth, vibhava, has galitam, has been distributed. Even though they have distributed their wealth among people, tanimna, now their wealth, the bank balance is less here. Tanimna, tanuna krishaha, thin nartham. So tanu, imanich pratyaya is added to show the bhavam. When I say tanoho bhavaha, tanutvam, tanuta, I can also say tanimna, tanima. This is in Tritiya Vibhakti. Tanimna shobhante. Nripaha, kings, shine because of that emaciated nature.
Or leanness.
Leanness. Okay. Now this is the prakritam here. Aprakritam are many things that he has listed. There are so many items which also tanimna shobhante, which are also beautiful when they are thinner and thinner. So manihi shana ullidha. Shana is the nikashopalam. Shana pudikkiradum இல்லையா தமிழ்ல, அதாவது ஒரு கல்லை வச்சுட்டு ஒராய்கல்ல போட்டு அத in order to bring it that shine, you take a raw gem, you keep on scraping it with a stone, and then you give it those cuts. As it is cut, the raw size, the size of a raw gem would be much, much bigger than the cut diamond. But it has more value and it is more beautiful than the raw diamond there. So shana ullidaha. Ullidaha is highlighted. A mani, a gem which has been highlighted or cut and shines because of that leanness. Samara vijayi heti dalitaha. A king who has won the war, Samara Vijayi, he has won the war, but his body is just very lean right now. He's not had food for many days here, but he has worked out so much and his body is very lean here. At the same time, it has also been hurt by Heti Dalitaha. It has been cut by weapons. But he has won the war. Apo tanimna eva shobhate. Even though he is lean, he shines because of his victory here. Madakshinaha nagaha. An elephant which is in rut, which is in youth, madena kshinaha bhavati. As the madajalam comes out, it will be in a very bad mood, but at the same time, it will not eat anything, so it will become thinner and thinner. Only when you are very calm, very happy, you will like to eat a lot. But when you are too stressed, you eat less, right? So your body automatically is very thin here. Nagaha. The same way, an elephant also. Madakshinaha tanimna shobhate. Because it is in youth, it is more useful. Whereas when it is older and older, there is no purpose for it. We cannot use it in battlefield or anything else. So தீனி போட்டே சுத்துறோம் இது. ஏன்னா யானைக்கு தீனி போடுறதுன்னா ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். It eats a lot. So if one has to maintain it by giving it food, then it becomes difficult to maintain it. So nobody would want an elephant which is nanna abdi pushtiya irukkuradhu. So you only want an elephant which is very thin and but yet active. Sharadi ashyana pulina. Sharatkale sarit ashyana pulina. The sarit or the river during autumn season in Sharatkala, ashyana pulina. Pulinamna the sandy area irukalla. It is showing off its sandy banks, but ashyana it is partially dried up. Yes. ஷியானங்கிறது வந்து ஷியை தாத்துலேருந்து வருது. கரெக்ட். ஷைங்கிறச்சு ஷை கதௌ ஏவ. परन्तु तत्र आस्यानम् इत्युक्ते completely, it has dried up here. So it is dried and it is showing sand on its banks, but still that river is very beautiful to look at. So tanimna shobhate. This is very clear water. During rainy season, the waters are very muddy, and when the rains stop and the autumn season comes, and as it dries up, the water is very clear. That is why it is very beautiful. Kala sheshas chandraha. Chandrastu पूर्णचन्द्रापेक्षया तत्र कलाशेषः यदि भवति तत्र कलङ्कः नास्ति. तस्मात् तनिम्ना शोभते. तस्मादेव शिवस्य शिरोऽलङ्कारभूतः अपि स चन्द्रः एव, न तु पूर्णचन्द्रः. So कलाशेषः चन्द्रः, a moon which is just like a digit. It's the crescent moon. The crescent moon is beautiful even though it has become very thin here. Surata Mridita Bala Vanita, a young Vadhu who has just married. Bala iti atra, not a small Kaumari, Tata nasti atra, Nava Vadhuhu iti Bala. One who is just married, a lady who is just married, and Surata Mridita, who is had a great time with her husband here. Suratam. Suratam is Rati Keli. Rati Keli dwara mridita tasmat sa tani krisha vartate. So she is suffering because of being with her husband, and at the same time she is enjoying the companion of her husband, that she also forgets to eat sometimes, right? So it's possible. So Surata Mridita Bala Vanita Tanimna Shobhante. All of these people are shining because of that leanness. அத்திர அதாவது இது எதுக்குன்னா கலித விபவாக நிருபாக தனிம்னா சோபந்தே இத்தியத்திர more than someone who has recently got money, the novo rich, instead of that, if it's a person who is parampara traditionally rich, they will be more generous. Even though their wealth has come down, still they are good to look at because they are of their swabhava also. Adha solradhukku अत्र अर्थिषु गलित विभवाः नृपाः शाणोल्लीढ मण्यादयः च तनिम्ना कार्श्येन कृशस्य भावः कार्श्यम् कार्श्येन शोभन्ते. They shine because of that leanness, and that is the common attribute here. Iti prakritanam nripanam aprakritanam manyadinam manihi samaravijayi nagaha sarit chandraha balavanita. There are 6 non-contextual items that he is listing here. शोभारूप एकदर्म अन्वय वर्णनात् शोभन्ते इति शोभा एव अत्र एक समान धर्मः, and तेन समान धर्मेण एव अन्वयः प्रकृतानाम् अप्रकृतानां च. So Dipaka lakshana sangati. Yeah,
there's so much aprakrita, we forget what is prakrita.
Correct. Yeah, this is Niti Shatakam, so he has a way of saying things. There is another one also very similar to this. Many such shlokas are there in Niti Shatakam if you're studying for
they list out lot of things, and
vairagyameva bhayam nityadikam tu asti tatra.
Mother, in this, how do you differentiate between Dipakam and Ullekaha?
உல்லேகா என்ன ஒரே இதுதானே இங்க. there is only one dharma here. உல்லேகத்துல பகு தர்மம். The common dharma is many in ulleka.
There are 2 kinds of ulleka, right?
எதுவா இருந்தாலும் வாங்கோ. உல்லேகா எத்தனாவது பேஜ்? You know what, I don't want to change this page. I will take Tirasikaranjani here because I have bookmarks here. Apannuthikku munnadiya?
Apannuthikku munnadiya.
Smriti ullekha. Okay.
Before apannuti.
Ekena bahudha ullekhe api asau vishayabhedah. This is the second variety. Guruhu vachasi Arjunaha kirtau Bhimaha Bhishmaha sharasane. 3 different qualities are mentioned here as connectors.
Okay. And in the first variety also?
Three different qualities. Aikshisaha dane, madanaha, aikshisaha. Stribihi, kamaha. Arthibihi, swardruhu. Kalaha, shatrubihi, aikshi, saha. So this is just one person who is being seen as kama because of one quality that is there.
Okay.
Okay?
In both Ullekha, the qualities are different.
Many qualities. When you
Mm.
compare with one person, you are highlighting that person with that particular quality. That's why I said even in the fourth variety of Tulyayogita, it can't be Ullekha, definitely. But you can't avoid Dipakam there. That's my issue. The only way you can do that is Utkrishta Gunanam, leveling the field is the only way that you can sort of do a samanvaya by saying it is not Dipaka. I still can't. Okay. We'll stop with this because next one has 3 varieties here. We'll do that next class.